Welcome back. Well, since school is starting for most of you this week, I knew we had to read this book. Now, today's author has illustrated books by Barack Obama, Madonna, and Amanda Gordon. But today's book took him in a very different direction, one that required time, patience, and toothpicks. And because there are very few words in this book, we're going to concentrate on the pictures. So I'll be back on screen at the end of this book to tell you the amazing way this book was created. Let's read. The Yellow Bus, written and illustrated by Lauren Long. Lauren was born in Joplin, Missouri. He graduated from the University of Kentucky with a bachelor's in graphic design and now lives in Cincinnati, Ohio with his wife and family. His career began at Gibson Greeting Cards in Cincinnati. When he was 12, he learned that he was colorblind, so now in his work he relies on strong lighting sources, color theory, and support from his family to overcome this obstacle and be an illustrator of children's books. There once was a bright yellow bus who spent her days driving. Every morning they climbed in, pitter-patter, pitter-patter, giggle, giggle-patter. The yellow bus carried them from one important place to another. And they filled her with joy. One day, a new driver came and drove the yellow bus along unfamiliar roads. Every morning they climbed in. Shuffle, clunk, creak, creak, clunk. The yellow bus carried them from one important place to another. And they filled her with joy. After a long time, someone new came and drove the yellow bus into the city. She parked her in a quiet spot, walked away, and never returned. Nobody climbed in. The yellow bus didn't drive from one important place to another. No pitter-patters, giggles, shuffles, creaks, or clunks. The yellow bus was empty. Until one cold night, they climbed in. Rustle, bump, brr, brr, bump, and huddled together. The young bus didn't carry them from one important place to another. Yet every night, with hushed noises and soft voices, they climbed in. And they filled her with joy. Early one morning, a truck arrived and towed the yellow bus through the city, across a bridge, into the country, along rolling hills, and down onto a farm nestled deep in a valley. The truck driver parked her at the bottom of a field on the bank of a river and drove away. But just as the yellow bus was missing the pitter-patters, giggles, flunks, rustles and bumps. They climbed in. Clip-clop, clip-clop, ma, ma-clop. The yellow bus didn't carry them from one important place to another. And still they filled her with joy. From her spot in the field on the farm in the valley, below rolling hills and beside the river, the yellow bus could hear booming noises nearby. It reminded her of the sounds of the city, of large trucks and heavy machinery. Then, all at once, the loud noises stopped. Soon the farmer came and gathered them together and took them away. No more clips and clops and mahs. The farm was quiet, and so was the yellow bus. Gradually, from around the bend, the river began to swell and rise. And rise. And rise. And rise. The yellow bus was alone until they swam in. Swish, whoosh, swish, swoosh, glub, glub, swoosh. The yellow bus didn't carry them from one important place to another. They drifted in and out and all around her. And they filled her with joy. The end. The inspiration for this book came when Lauren was running along the bike trail through the woods near his house, and he always passed an old yellow bus. It sat broken down in the corner of a goat paddock. And every time Lauren ran past, it put a smile on his face as he thought about how it came to be there, rusted, abandoned, and surrounded by goats climbing on top, jumping out in the spring and climbing inside it in the winter. He started thinking about purpose and the passage of time and about how we feel when we do things for others, and about how doing things for others can give us joy. Now, for most of his books, Lauren says he just makes up the characters and the pictures from his imagination, maybe with using some photos as references, but from the very beginning he knew this book about the yellow bus was going to be very different. To help meet this challenge, he actually made a three-dimensional model of the town and the valley in his studio so he could study it and draw from the details. He created the model out of cardboard, styrofoam foam, and other scraps around the house, like a shoebox and some toothpicks, using tape and a glue gun to combine it all. For the little town, he put together some model railroad paper buildings and houses and found a small toy school bus and a box of stuff that once belonged to his now grown-up kids. Creating the model helped him see the yellow bus from different angles, from standing at ground level to soaring high above. He says the best part was being able to focus different light on any part of the model and mood. He still runs past the yellow school bus that's near his house every day. And he realizes he'll probably never know how it got there and what its story actually is, but he's thankful that it inspired him to think and reflect and imagine and create. And he's thankful that when he looks at his own life, he sees so many people who embody what the yellow bus is all about. And he hopes that we do too. So come back next week and let's read another story together. Bye-bye.